as we'll just get into some of the off-season news.
Not so breaking off-season news.
So none of this is breaking news because we only come on once a week. So we missed all the exciting stuff. But there's players that, with the salary cap the way it is, that are getting bounced around or want to be traded or will be traded. So I just figured we'll start off with Zach Ertz. He's in the Eagles, and apparently they are shopping him to either the Seahawks or the Colts.
He'd be a big pickup for the Seahawks. Either of those teams, but another weapon for Russell Wilson, that's big. Zach Ertz is a good tight end.
Yes, he is, but he does get injured quite a bit.
I think a lot of people – it just seems to be the thing in the NFL now. Like, it's all more about player safety, but a lot more people get hurt, it feels like.
Yeah, I think that might have to do with the offseason schedule. You know, when you're not used to getting hit, your body's not used to it. You're not used to, you're not probably going to run nearly as hard in practice if no one's going to hit you than you are if someone's going to hit you. Like, I know I'm going to move a lot different if someone's going to hit me, especially if it's someone like J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense.
Where do you think he would be better off, with the Seahawks or the Colts?
Right now, I'd say the Seahawks because we don't know who the Colts quarterback is going to be. And at this moment, I don't think the Colts have anybody as good as Russell Wilson.
No. What if Carson Wentz goes to the Colts?
That'd be a different story because the Colts have a better offensive line. And I think if you
they already are familiar with each other.
Yeah, and if you protect Carson Wentz, he can do good things for you.
So I think if I was to take a shot, I'd say the Colts. If the Colts get Ertz in a trade, it's because it's a trade combined with Wentz. And if Wentz doesn't go to the Colts, I think Wentz goes to the Seahawks. Ertz goes to the Seahawks. Yeah. Wentz is who we get to talk to next. What do you think about that, Nick? Do you think Seahawks or Colts, or does it matter?
With Wentz?
With Ertz.
Or Ertz, or both. Yeah, Ertz, okay.
Ertz.
I think, from what I'm reading or seeing on the internet, looks like probably a combo package is likely to the Colts is what I'm thinking will more than likely happen. So be a big...
Yeah, that's definitely my
big
thoughts.
Win for the Colts. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
If the Colts can get both, that'd be big.
That'd be really big. Now, there is also talks of Russell Wilson wanting traded out of Seattle.
I believe it. They haven't done anything to protect him in years.
100% he's not happy with them.
I don't blame him.
I mean, I don't think that's a trade you can do. Like, you could get a lot for him, but there's no guarantee of landing someone with his talent. The fact that they got him as late as they did in the draft is amazing. So I just don't see that they can let him go. But if they do, I mean, is that something that maybe Ertz is sitting there looking, thinking, well, I can't go to Seattle. What if I go there?
Absolutely not.
But, he should be there, but he might not be there. So I think that, like we said, the combo package of Wentz and Ertz to Indy just makes the most sense for both of those. And I think that makes the most sense for Wentz. But I guess it
makes the most sense for them, but it all depends on what the Eagles are going to get out of it.
Or
because they got to make the move. No, what they're going to get for Wentz and Ertz.
What are they going to get? Probably. Well, what I'm hearing right now is they had offered a two second round draft picks for Wentz, and the Eagles didn't like that. But I don't think the Eagles are going to get much more than that. No, maybe if you combine Ertz in there, maybe you can up one of those to a first round. But Wentz, you can't shop around. Carson Wentz is a premium quarterback when you benched him for the last half of the season. I mean,
yeah,
you shot yourself in the foot on that one.
But last year was a weird year, though. It's hard to really hold that against anybody.
Mm-hmm.
We never had a season like that before.
No, but I don't know. I think the rumor are Wentz is going to either the Colts or the Bears, and I don't understand the Bears one at all.
I mean, the Bears need a quarterback. They clearly can't rely on Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles.
I don't see that much of a difference. Anymore. I don't see that much of a difference between Trubisky or Wentz. Like, they're enough along the same talent level that Why would you try to give up draft picks for someone that's maybe a slight bit better than the quarterback you have?
We've seen a lot better play from Carson Wentz than we have from Mitch Trubisky on a more consistent level.
More consistent, but then he's been more consistent than Trubisky. Trubisky will be up and down, but when he hits, he hits.
That's because he's been hurt more than Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah,
so he has to keep coming back from injury. Trubisky has to keep coming back from being benched.
Yeah, but he come back and he played good enough to keep them in the playoff run. Didn't they make the playoffs? They made the playoffs.
They did. They got
the Bears.
They got one of those wild card spots.
And Nick, feel free to jump in anytime. we're talkers, but I mean, what Carson Wentz do? What Jalen Hurts do? They couldn't even make it in off of a 3-win division.
The Eagles were so banged up, and that turned into a 7-win division. Good sir.
Yeah, it was like a 3-win division. It was horrible, and they couldn't even make it in.
Yeah, but the Eagles were hit about as hard as anybody when it came to injuries. Maybe the 49ers got the worst of it.
49ers got the worst of it.
But the Eagles were right there behind them. It wasn't a good year for Philadelphia.
No, but so why hold that against Wentz?
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I am.
It makes sense for Chicago to want him. I think he's a better quarterback than Trubisky.
I don't think he's that much better. Maybe you want to pull up the stats, but
he's just a better decision maker. Physically, they're about even. They can make the same throws. The problem is Wentz has a better idea of when to attempt those throws.
I think if it was me and I was running a franchise, I think I'd rather have Trubisky right now. I feel like if it would have been right after that Super Bowl, whenever Eagles won and Wentz was injured, maybe I would have went Wentz. But I don't know if you remember back then, they're talking about kicking Wentz to the road and keeping Foles. Of course, Eagles fans, you can't really trust what they say.
Yeah. No, I knew they weren't going to keep Nick Foles because Nick Foles has never had it in him to start a whole season and give you success.
Yeah, I mean, he got pretty good money in Jacksonville, and he didn't last there very long.
Yeah,
couldn't keep a starting job in Chicago.
He made it through 4 games in Chicago. Yeah, in Chicago before they realized he wasn't it.
I like Wentz. I take Wentz over Trubisky personally. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd back me up on this one.
Yeah. He had a rough year this year, but still had a couple pretty good games where his quarterback rating was up in at least 1 or 2 games, upper 80s and 90s, I think. So, but overall, obviously a poor year for him. But I think he's still got some potential.
Oh, I definitely think he does. Now, here's
his whole team around him. That's what he needs.
If he had a good offensive line, that'd help him a lot because that guy has been without receivers or offensive lines for so long.
Yeah.
Here's a quick question, though, because they came in the same draft. Would you rather have Wentz or Goff right now?
Oof.
Oof.
I'm only going to say Goff because his highs are higher than Wentz's.
He did make a Super Bowl.
But his low, well, that's more their defense, honestly.
Yeah. Oof. I think I'd rather have Wentz right now, and I don't know why. I have no reasosoning for it, but I just think I'd rather have Wentz.
I think it's because he's done more with less.
Yeah, it's a tough call, Nick? But I think it's a tough call. But I think I'd stick with Wentz as well on that. Yeah, I've seen the Eagles play a lot more than Goff, so it's probably.
I want to say Goff because he has more big game experience, but it's not him head and shoulders above Carson Wentz. It's really close.
Well, I thought that Wentz was going to be he was going to be the heir apparent to Brady when it come to the just the NFL in general, not necessarily on the Patriots, but being that guy that everybody was in love with. And then he got hurt, and Nick Foles, won the Super Bowl, and after that, it's just been like rough sledding for him. So I would hope that wherever he goes, which I think will be the Colts, that he's able to start slinging and do good, just not good enough to beat the Bills. I don't want that. So while we're talking about the people wanting trades and we're in quarterbacks, we need to talk to Sean Watson.
That poor man.
That poor man, he's making
poor man.
millions and multi-millions of dollars.
But he hates where he's at. He wants to leave so bad.
Yeah, but I don't know if you remember, but Jim Kelly, when he was drafted by the Bills, said that was the worst thing ever. And then went and played for the, what was that, the UFL back then? Or
Yeah, the
whatever
US
it was. Yeah, USFL. And just hated everything Buffalo. Turned out all right for him. So, you don't always see things, that are right in front of you the way you should. So I don't say poor him. Now, I understand what now.
I don't see the Texans doing anything to be even close to that Bills team, though. I don't see any progress in Houston. They look terrible.
No, they let the Bill O'Brien kind of ruin that team. That was a big mistake. So, so he wants out, and there's no reason not to let him out because they're rebuilding anyway, and they can get the farm for him.
But the Texans have told every team we're not trading Deshaun Watson.
Oh, they will.
No, they've told everybody we're not this year anyway.
Yeah, they'll do it.
You think so?
This is the best time to do it. He has the highest value right now. The quarterback market, he, like I said, that's the most value you can get. And he's not going to be happy playing with you. You don't want that. They already let J.J. Watt go. You're clearly in a rebuild. Why not get a bajillion and a half first-round picks, build that team up properly? And
because the Texans are hard-headed, that's why. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean they're clearly not a bright organization. We found that one out with the way they handled everything.
That's why they're holding on to him so hard because he's the only superstar they have left.
So, say they trade him. I need to shut my phone off. Say they trade him.
Okay.
What's he worth? And where does he go?
I think he's worth the first and second round. I don't think he's worth 2 first rounds, but a first and a second.
Okay. Who's giving that up? Because I think about anybody give that up. But where do you think he should go?
Almost.
I'm hearing Broncos is where I'm hearing. But,
I'm hearing a lot of Bronco talk.
Yeah.
Honestly,
as a Chiefs fan, I don't want to see him go there. Just talented guy.
I mean, he's good,
so
but
fun to watch. I want to see him go to your division, but not to Denver. I want to see him go to Vegas because I think Carr's time is up. Honestly.
Before we go a little bit further, let's just jump into the chat room. I forgot we were live. I forgot to check the chat. Sorry, guys. So Chris Horn says, cheers, guys. I said, cheers. And then I think he was responding to what you were saying earlier about the quarterback. Good reason to only do a top 10. We're not going to put that one up there. You did not miss the official quarterback pick. Not yet. Alex Smith. And then I don't know what he was knowing, but that's good. All right, now we're caught up with the chat. Again, thanks everybody for watching. If you guys get a chance, jump on the social medias. If you haven't liked this video yet, click like. You haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That's the biggest thing we're needing right now is just get those subscriptions up. Find us on socials at UpTheGut1, the Facebook and the Twitter. Okay, let's scroll Nick's name. There we go. All right, Nick. So what do you think he's worth? If we had Deshaun Watson, what is he worth?
I think I agree with what he said earlier. One first round and maybe a second round pick. I don't know if I'd go beyond that. But talented, obviously very talented quarterback. Hasn't been the best team.
And so do you think that he goes to the Broncos?
At this point, I think he probably will. I mean, looking at the Broncos standpoint, that would be a big upgrade, in my opinion, from what they have right now. And quarterbacks are hard to come by, someone like him. And
that's probably the reason they don't want to let go of him in Houston, because who knows what you'll get. Now, if you sit here and look at it, if I was to say what he's worth, I'm probably on the same as you guys, 1 and a 2, but I think that they could very easily get 2 first rounds for him, if not 2 first rounds, like a third round. I think people are willing to pay that, but I think Broncos or Miami or the Jets 2 of those I don't want to see him at. So let's go Broncos. Let's put him over there.
You think Miami's going to bail on Tua already?
100%. I think they'll bail on Tua. He has to really, him and Jalen this next year is prove it years. And I think I already heard that Eagles are planning on drafting a quarterback high. And then, so they really got a lot they got to do. Now, what if we had like a multi-team trade-a-thon for unhappy quarterbacks? Russell Wilson to Houston, Deshaun Watson to Denver, put Drew Lock up in Seattle. Who knows?
I don't think Russell would want to go to Houston. That's not much better than the situation now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, what if? What if we throw some picks that way, put Russell Wilson? Where would Russell Wilson be really good? He might actually be the guy for Indianapolis.
He'd be really good in Arizona.
Kyler Murray's too good there. They're not gonna replace him. He's younger. He's basically Russell Wilson, but like 10 years younger.
But he also, again, doesn't make as good at passing decisions because he also generates a lot more turnovers than Russ does.
Yeah, he's younger. But Russ, he started off this year. Russ, like, we're best friends. Russ hanging out. Anyway, he's he started off the year really good, but there at the end, he didn't play real well. So
his team fell apart around him. There wasn't nothing he could do.
Oh, it was him too. I think he has the highest percentage of sacks that can be blamed on him than any other quarterback. So he's mad because he's getting sacked, but he's not making the decisions to keep from getting sacked, which he's kind of like Josh Allen, where they'll scramble around for an hour because they can do that. But at some point in time, you do have to just take that sack.
Or just throw it away.
All right. I don't want to get to the last major free agent yet. I'm curious, though, about some of these quarterbacks. Who do you think is going to retire in this offseason, quarterback-wise? Because we already got Phillip Rivers out. Do you think Drew Brees retires?
He has to. After what happened this season, there's no way he can come back and think he can do it again.
Nah, they all can think they can do it again.
No, not.
And maybe with a good offseason and some good rehabilitation, maybe he does come back.
No, because he had other than the COVID thing, he had a good offseason, but he came back and that arm strength was not what it used to be. It took him quite a while to be able to air that ball out. And then he got hurt.
He's like a half inch taller than Kyler Murray and like 900 years old. So,
yeah, that's why I think he's going to retire. His body can't take it no more.
I'd be surprised.
I think he retires. Yeah, I think he retires. That's probably the easiest one outside of Phillip Rivers because he already did. So
we already know Roethlisberger's not because he already talked about coming back next year.
So you're pretty sure that he's going to play again?
Roethlisberger will be back next year. He
just lost his center.
Yeah, they can draft another one.
Yeah, but he's not a young man.
He's not, but I think they'll have more of a team off season this year. Now that we've gotten used to COVID, they can find some workarounds where they can actually get some off season workouts, get that timing down. He'll be back.
Okay, so Roethlisberger's back. Brees retires.
Brady's not talking about playing past 45.
I thought he wanted to play until he's 47.
Yeah, so I'm saying past 45 now because with that defense, I don't blame him.
No, I mean, at some point in time, I think he's going to take a hit and realize, damn, I'm in my 40s. Maybe I shouldn't do this. But right now,
because the way they run that offense, there's the rare occasion they air it out, but just a lot of short passes that they just murder you with.
He actually had some of he might have been one of the highest percentage of deep throws of the quarterbacks. Like you could probably look that up, but
yeah, the first half of the season we tried to run Bruce Arians' offense. But once he got everyone in line to run the Patriot way, those numbers went down.
Oh, let's just be honest. It's the Tom Brady way. Get it out quick. Let the really short, fast guys get downfield and make you look good.
It's the Bill Belichick way. Belichick taught him everything he knows.
No, I think at one point he's just like, hey, coach, I just want to throw it short to this fast guy. It was Wes Welker. Just let me dump it off to Wes Welker. Okay, so who else coming in that? Eli's already gone. Phillip's gone. So Ben, Alex Smith already said he doesn't want to retire yet.
No, he'll be back. He's not that old. And he looked good for what he came back from. So you give him an
Real
actual
good. Real
full
good.
offseason workout and some practice time. I think he'll be their starter next year.
All right. I can't think of any other ones that need to or should retire off the top of my head.
Yeah, not retire. There
Except
might be a
Cam
couple.
Newton. Cam Newton needs to retire.
Yeah, I think if the Patriots stick with him, I'll be shocked. But once he gets cut, I can't see anyone else being desperate enough to sign him.
Yeah, he didn't play in that. I think there's enough quarterbacks out there. He's on the out. I think he probably doesn't go back with the Patriots, sits as a free agent, retires halfway through the season as a Panther. Yep, good game. All right, now the big news. Where does Mr. Houston himself, J.J. Watt, where does he go?
Probably Pittsburgh.
See, I don't think so.
No?
Nah. I think he wants to
Somewhere.
win. I think he wants to go to Super Bowl, and I don't think Pittsburgh's the route to it.
Could be somewhere in Ohio. It sounds like one of the two, maybe.
But yeah, I've heard a lot of talk of Cleveland, but I don't think that's it either.
I don't know. They're pretty nasty with him and Myles Garrett together.
Yeah, but I just don't think that's the team. I think the team is either Green Bay or Buffalo. Seriously,
I don't
Green Bay is that short term.
Yeah.
You know, they've got the talent. I can get in there. Buffalo does too. But I think it makes more sense for Green Bay to sign him than Buffalo because you guys are closer to having to really do a shuffle of talent than we are. And J.J. Watt's not a long-term thing.
He's not. The only problem is he's starting to get hurt more and more, and the interior part of our line isn't our biggest problem.
Yeah, you put him in there, and it makes everybody a lot better, though.
As long as he stays healthy, yeah. That's the
even
biggest.
then, what was it? Just 2 years ago, he got injured and came back in record time to play in the playoffs, though.
He didn't look good in that playoff game, though, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He was all over against Buffalo. I don't know if he has the numbers to show it, but he was disrupting things left and right.
I just don't want to see him come to Green Bay, us get close a couple of times, and waste the last part of his career. That'd make me upset.
But you guys should have your offensive line back next year. You need to re-sign Aaron Jones. Otherwise, I hope he comes to Buffalo because that dude is good. Other than that, I mean, that would help your defense because that'd make your entire defensive line better.
Yeah.
Remember, he's not necessarily interior. He's an end.
We got two ends though. Well, technically they're linebackers, but we got guys on the edge.
Yeah. I guess it depends on I don't even know what defense you guys run, 3-4-4-3, but I mean they all run a hybrid anyway. So
yeah. Now if he signs with us, majority of the time he's going to be interior.
Well, even then, I don't know. I think you do what J.J. Watt wants. I guess it depends on your no-name defensive coordinator that apparently isn't very good that you guys just got. Why don't you tell me about him real quick?
I don't know nothing about him. I looked him up and
Yeah.
he hasn't done much.
All right, let's Matt, just stop ignoring Nick and let him tell us where he thinks J.J. Watt's going to go.
I'm
Where do you think
thinking
J.J.
Browns,
Watt?
but yeah.
You really think it's the Browns?
No, I mean, I'd say Brown. I don't think he's going to Pittsburgh, but I would say Browns, Packers, possibly the Bills. But what you're saying makes good sense. I mean, the Browns are pretty darn good, but they're a ways off. I think
I don't know what the solution is to the Browns because they're the Browns. I think they make the playoffs, but I don't see them getting very far in the playoffs. Kind of like the Chiefs were back in the day with Alex Smith or the Marty Schottenheimer Chiefs. Good team, but just they didn't have that factor, and I don't even know how to explain that factor. But and if anybody understands that, J.J. Watt does. And then on top of that, he's going to be in the same division as his brother, play his brother twice a year. Is he going to do that? Seems like, I mean, I don't know how their stuff is. I mean, I would love to do that. I would beat up on my brothers all the time. But
he wouldn't beat up on his brother. They'd be on the field opposite times of the game.
Yeah, but it's his brother's team. It extends to each other. So, I mean, it's a possibility, and there's been a lot of talk. But if I had to put my money on it, given the cap space, I would say Green Bay, then Buffalo, then probably the Browns. I'd say the outlier would be the Kansas City Chiefs, because if he wants a ring now, that's the place to go.
Yeah.
Because they are super talented, but Kansas City's cap space, I mean, they could make something work, but it wouldn't be easy. He'd be definitely taking a pay cut to go there. So that's my outlier.
I can see him taking a pay cut to get that championship.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, that dude's made some money.
Yeah, the money's not a problem for him. All that
100%.
Subway money.
100% has been my favorite saying here lately because I put it in the intro.
You do.
I use it a lot now. Like instead of like affirmative or yes, just 100%. It works. All right.
You're going to listen.
So that is our not so breaking off-season news.
Not so breaking off-season news.